Welcome to the community meeting. Today is May 25th. So we have half of Keptn community recovering from KubeCon. Um, then we have mentors, etc., and GSOC teams that already started their meetings, etc. So we don't have many people today. Let's see what we have on our agenda. So basically, the agenda is also pretty short. I want to spend most of the time on GSOC Q&A. Thanks, Mecha and Eric, for joining. And before that, so first of all, we have announced GSOC projects. So we have 4 GSOC projects this year. Congratulations to everyone who was accepted. So Eric, Jaina, Mecha, and Rajiv. So we already announced the projects, but the key point, all of them are within Keptn roadmap. All of them are quite important for the ecosystem, and looking forward that these projects succeed. What is important that we were unable to accept a number of other projects because of the limitations, the size of the mentorship teams. So right now we are looking into opportunities to host LFX mentorship, most probably this autumn. Maybe one summer project, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So if you're interested to participate, if you participated in GSOC, if you didn't, then we will be working on additional opportunities. Again, congrats to everyone who's accepted. So just a quick heads up, what happens next. There is community bonding. We sent the expectations to mentors about the community bonding. I can duplicate some of them to the students if you're interested. But basically, the whole point of this phase is to make sure that by the time the coding phase begins, you can actually start coding. What it means that firstly you need to get all the required permissions and get all the repositories, so you're not blocked by that. Also, the required knowledge transfers, etc. We recommend doing that during community bonding when time allows. In addition, of course, getting introduced to the community, to the stakeholders, to the processes, all of them is better to do during the bonding phase. One item which commonly gets discussed at this phase is what is actual scope of your work. Because there were project applications. These project applications, they're quite realistic in terms of what needs to be delivered, but some reality mapping still might need to be done. So, for example, timing, scope, etc. So again, community bonding is a great opportunity for teams to discuss what they actually plan to deliver. Because your project isn't slated in stone, you can adjust as needed together with mentors, and you can basically drive this discussion or mentor. Well, in most of the projects, we assume that students, contributors, the project leads. So mentors just provide advice, etc., and provide guidance when needed, but you can take initiatives almost everywhere. It's a good time to have a conversation with your mentors about what would be the scope. For that, so if you need any additional things, for example, if you need repositories, if you need GitHub projects for dashboards, I'm not sure whether you plan to use Kanban style or Agile style. So it's all of that can be discussed again with your team. If you need all this project infrastructure, I'm available, and other maintainers also are available to set it up for you. But you need to request it. So just in the chat is okay, but don't expect many things to be set up for you unless you ask for that, because there is a community process. So, for example, for hosting new repositories, there is a process for sandbox, etc. And we generally recommend following this process. But at the same time, for GSOC, of course, we try to speed it up as much as possible so that you don't get blocked. Still, these 3 weeks is something you can use for that. And maybe another important topic is infrastructure/budgets. So, for example, if you need a cluster on, let's say, on GCP or whatever, again, it's something that it would be better to discuss now, so that we can prepare before the coding begins. GSOC provides some stipends to the organizations we can use for that purpose. It's still, they will transfer money only in autumn, so we will need to figure it out. There are credits being provided to GSOC students on different platforms. So I keep using students for all terminology, contributors. For us, it's important to know what you need for your projects. So we don't expect you to pay for anything. We can handle all reasonable requests, I believe. But at the same time, so some items cannot be solved just on 1 day notice. Okay. So this is about GSOC. Do you have any questions we will need to clarify? Okay. So then, basically that's what I wanted to say about the community bonding phase. But I think that this phase is one of the most important for the entire GSOC program. So even if there is no strict list of what needs to be done, basically you have to enable it yourself for the next phases, because otherwise it will create a lot of struggle. Okay. So I do have a few other topics on the agenda, but since we don't have many contributors, maybe I will skip them until tomorrow. So just quick summary for incubation, etc. It will require some of my time in the coming weeks too, because Keptn incubation was delayed because of TOC review process and KubeCon. So the realistic estimation for that is beginning of June. So there will be a lot of buzz, and I will probably have to disappear for a week or so from the community. Again, I'm happy to join the projects if needed. Joining meetings, etc., to help with some guidance, because I've been with GSOC since 2016. But if needed, again, please let me know so that I can plan my schedule accordingly. Most probably, I won't be mentoring any project on my own this year, but I will be providing kind of advisory for all projects, in terms of processes, in terms of how to do things better, etc., etc. Okay, and KubeCon CD events, basically conferences happened. We had something like 10-ish contributors at KubeCon. It was nice time. I missed most of that because I had to depart on Tuesday, so I haven't really visited KubeCon itself, which is unfortunate, but that's it. But thanks a lot to everyone who helped to staff the booth, to do the presentations around project office hours, and do all other activities around KubeCon, because there were a lot of them. So in total, we had 5 or 6 presentations, including mentioning Keptn. And the agenda was quite packed. And for the next year, for KubeCon in Detroit, I believe there will be even more topics, because we expect to reach incubation at least by that KubeCon. Which would be a bummer if we don't. And if it happens, we will have a full-time Keptn community day. So again, the timeline potentially allows to invite successful contributors, etc., to the United States. Let's see whether we can fund it by budgets, etc. But in theory, if everything goes right, I think that it would be one of the options to keep in mind. So I believe I will have more details closer to the first evaluation, so that we can start logistics there. But right now, just heads up that if everything goes right, if I get all the budgets I asked for, etc., we will try to organize all this community day and invite GSOC contributors too. Okay. So that's it from me. Any questions, comments, topics to discuss? Okay. Then thank you, and yeah, if no other topics, we can just keep the meeting short. I will still publish the video, mostly with just GSOC tag, because everything is about GSOC. And yeah, just have a great summer. And if anything is needed for your projects, please let me know. Okay, then bye everyone. And,
Thank you, Oleg.
yeah, thank you, John. Bye.